Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the Saad stage, everybody. Saudi football is entering a pivotal new chapter, defined by leadership, strategic thinking, and ambitious investment. This moment is really more than just about the game itself. It's about building an ecosystem that inspires communities and positions the kingdom as a global power in sport. Today we are joined by Saad Al-Lazeez, CEO of NEOM Sports Club, former Vice Chairman and CEO of the Saudi Pro League, an architect behind the league's modernisation, and the mind who helped bring world-class players to the kingdom. Saad, thank you so much for joining us here on stage, and welcome to the Saad stage.
Thank you.
So we'll get straight into it. We only have 20 minutes, but I'm sure that will absolutely fly by. So Saad, NEOM Sports Club is a newly established club, founded in 2023. Yet it's already achieved remarkable progress. From second division to the first division to the most recent Saudi Pro League. You now sit 7th in the table, ahead of major clubs such as Al-Ittihad. How does football fit within NEOM's broader vision for sport, community and innovation? And how does your strategy differ from others?
Thank you for having me. Thank you for the opportunity to tell our story at NEOM. Of course, football sits in the heart of not only NEOM ambitions to build an active society, but the whole Kingdom on Vision 2030. NEOM Football Club aims at building a new, modern, data-driven club that will achieve success not on the short term, but rather on the long term in a sustainable, efficient manner. When we set out our strategy and started building the strategy and our strategy pillars, we took in mind, what has been done in Saudi since the transformation of the Saudi Pro League back in 2023. And we took all of the lessons that I learned from my time there, and we decided with conscience that we will build a data-driven young team that relies on youth as one of the main pillars to build our sustainable football team. Today, this club, as of now, and just 3 months into our strategy, is the youngest team in the SPL. And we think this club will see a lot of success in the future. So this is a nutshell how we view our football club and how we want to build it going forward.
So we've just mentioned there that it was only founded in 2023. Now, can you just tell us a little bit about the history, how NEOM Sports Club came about?
Yeah, NEOM acquired Al-Sudur Football Club as part of the wider privatization program, which is one of the Vision 2030 programs. This took place in the summer of 2023. Since then, Al-Sudur was established back in 1967, rather a small club in Tabuk. There are 2 clubs in Tabuk, Al-Watani and Al-Sudur. These are the 2 clubs in Tabuk. Since the acquisition in 2023, we achieved a promotion from the SDL Second Division League to the First Division League, and last year, recently, we got promoted to the top promotion league in Saudi Arabia. So it is part of the wider privatization program. I think the latest were 6 clubs. They were privatized just recently, about 3-4 months ago, and this is an ongoing program.
Now, you just mentioned, obviously, that it's based in Tabuk at the moment. Now, you have some remarkable training facilities. You've just spoken there about the grassroots level, that the youth level, you're very much focused on progressing and developing this side of things. How important is the training infrastructure?
One of the things that when you even speak to coaches and players, we have a couple of them here from the club today, And one of the first things that professional players ask about is, what kind of facility do you have? Do you have all of the tools? Do you have all of the equipment? And right now, we are in the process of fully developing the training ground. The training ground is built partially. It's adequate for the first team. We are building the rest of it for the youth teams and the academy team, the under 21 team, and the rest of the youth teams. As a matter of fact, just this summer, we established 7 youth teams, under 21, then under 18 up to under 13. They are all active in their respective leagues. And it's something that very, very important to us, having the training facility for these young kids to be active and play and develop with top coaches. The club today academy is headed by one of the top-notch academy coaches that we recruited from Benfica in Portugal, and we can go into the training ground day in and day out. You kind of feel that something is growing in this club, and I cannot wait to see these clubs in 3, 4, or 5 years' time, because I believe the future is bright for NEOM Sports Club.
Now, you were just talking about multiple clubs and age levels within your club at the moment. Now, what makes NEOM different in terms of why would a player want to come to NEOM and not any other club in the Saudi Pro League?
I think I could be biased speaking about my club, but I think the environment inside this club is different. The vibes in our training ground and the team spirit we have is different. I think one of the things that we would like to see in the future is these younger players, the ones that we recruit for the first team or for the youth teams, would like to see them, available to other clubs in the market. And if you ask some of the players who cannot make it to the top teams, where would they like to go? They will name 1 or 2 clubs in Saudi where they know they will get traded to a bigger club at some point. Us, we want to be a normal trader player in the market. We believe there is no shortcuts in football. If you want to build a sustainable, successful sports club, you have got to start from the foundation. The foundation is youth, youth, youth. You cannot assume that you will be successful year in and year out when most of your players are post-peak in terms of age. This is not sustainable at all. It's costly as well. And I think a player who wants to come, he wants to come because he knows he will develop the right way, he will build the right foundation, and he will see a brighter future whether he stays with NEOM or get traded to another club.
So as a newly established club, do you find it's easier for you in comparison to other clubs to kind of create a legacy because you're starting pretty much from scratch?
To build the legacy, there are several elements or pillars for building a legacy. Of course, you need to have success on the field. You need to be a winning team. And then you need to grow your fan base. And to do that, fans will not come if you are losing. Okay? Fan engagement is something that you build over the years. Tabuk area is not, highly in population. We're still talking about 800,000. We share the city with another club. You need to be able to engage with the fans, and you need to do it, as frequent as possible. And it will take time for us to build that community and fan engagement.
And just talking about fan engagement there, Saad, the business of football is really evolving. And in terms of the broadcast and fan engagement, that's ever evolving, and it's very different to what we saw 5-10 years ago. So how can Saudi clubs leverage this momentum to build long-term commercial strength and global appeal?
I think there is no right or wrong answer here, in my opinion. But I think investing in digital fan engagement is to me is the way to go. And I think uh, football industry is a bit tricky to me. Uh, you get a new owner, a new president, a new CEO in a club, and the number one thing they worry about is winning the next 3 points. And eh, thinking that way, what gets lost on the way is building your commercial value, building your um, brand value. And to me, it takes more than just a success on the field to build all of that. So you need to have an exerted effort to build all of these all together. And I think, of course, in my opinion, start with the success on the pitch, because that fuels, economic and commercial growth.
Now, we've seen many clubs within the Saudi Pro League make global headlines across the world, but sustained success requires core foundations. So, what steps must be taken to build a sustainable, well-governed football ecosystem that really supports the growth from the grassroots to elite levels?
Yeah. In my opinion, you have to have a strategy and you have to stick to it. You cannot change your strategy just because you lost a couple of games or you finished seventh or eighth or ninth in the league. You have got to stick to your strategy. The most costly thing in football is being emotional. You cannot be emotional in football. You cannot respond spontaneously to losses or draws that you expect to win. Uh, Football is not an easy game, and it's not a pure science. 1 plus 1 does not equal 2 in football, and you just have to be patient. You have to stick to your strategy, and strategies in football are always long term, always long term. You cannot achieve. For me, at least, I know my KPIs. I know where I want to finish in the league. Our ownership, they know where we want to finish in the league, and we have complete alignment when it comes to that with our board. And you just stick to your strategy, keep on doing what you're doing, and one day you'll break through.
Now, within the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, we're set to host the 2034 World Cup. So, Saad, if we look ahead to 2034, what do you envision for Saudi football in terms of performance, influence, and global reputation?
Uh, no, First of all, when it comes to football, the transformation you see in Saudi sports and football in specific is a huge part of Vision 2030. And when we started the transformation for Saudi Pro League back in 2023, we wanted to do this firstly for the Saudi fans. Saudi fans are highly engaged in football, and it's by far the number one entertainment for Saudi population, which is a young population. Of course, when it comes to World Cup in 2034, the first thing we want to make sure that we are hosting an exceptional tournament, and second is we'd like to achieve success on the pitch for the first Saudi national team. It's not easy. It's difficult. There are 48 teams that will be playing in Saudi. Everybody's competing for the same thing, but looking at all of the youth teams, Saudi national team under 17 and under 19, they're both in the World Cup this year. We got qualified also the first team for the 2026. I'm very hopeful that we'll see a good or better performance comes in 2034.
Now, for Saudi football to be ready for 2034, what do you think must be achieved within the next 5 years in terms of individual clubs and football as the infrastructure out here?
Uh, I'll speak. I'll speak at the league level. This is my background. I worked at the league. I know we drive to for the league to get more exposure globally. We've been doing that. The league is being broadcasted now in I think north of 160 countries. Many broadcasters nationally, internationally. Sorry. So growth in the league, in my opinion, is what needs to continue from now on, and this is what brings value. This is what brings value. This is what brings investors into the league. This is what brings investors to football clubs in Saudi. So, in my opinion, growth at the league level is very, very important. Uh, it goes without saying, emphasis continuing the youth programs that we see across the kingdom, be it Mahd Academy or the programs under the Saudi Arabian Football Federation. We have to give a lot of emphasis to youth, grassroots football. That's, in my opinion, the only path to go.
Now, you've just mentioned there, of course, a lot of your background is with the league. You were former vice president, chairman, and also CEO of Saudi Pro League. Can you just tell us a little bit about your transition from league to club?
Yeah, obviously when you work at the league level, you work for 18 clubs and you try to balance out day in, day out their demands and what they need. You try to bring in, the best commercial deals for the league and try to increase their revenues as much as you can from the central revenue streams. Going into NEOM, my thinking is I wanted to experience something different. I had the experience for working for a football club. It wasn't in Saudi. I did about a year in Sheffield United in the UK, and it was different. I represented the ownership, the Saudi ownership there. I wanted to experience building a football club. I know NEOM, speaking to the chairman and the previous CEO, was transforming and preparing for the new era of being in Saudi Pro League. It's very challenging. The recruitment number we did this year is just unbelievable. I think access of 250 players between first team, women team, and the 7 youth teams. It's a 24/7 job. I mean, it's just excites you when you see your different football teams playing and winning, and it's so depressing going back home if you lose. It just becomes part of your daily life. So, success has a cost to it. It takes you away from your family. I had more time available to me when I worked in the league. It's exciting time. We are proud for what we achieved so far, and we aspire to achieve more and more for NEOM. We want to be a big part of what NEOM is going to build and achieve in the future.
Final question then, Saad. What's your prediction for the men's and women's team this season? Where will you end up in the league?
You can ask the players. We have 2 here. Abdullah. 5th place.
5th.
Yeah.
That's a good position.
Okay.
And for the women's team?
6th.
Okay, 5th and 6th. That's a nice position.
It's realistic.
Especially for newly promoted side.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing
you.
your insights.
Thank you.
Extremely interesting to hear about
Thank
a
you.
newly established club, and we wish you all the best
Thank you very much.
for years to come.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.